We're starting off August strong with a bunch of Nintendo Switch 2 news, like Kirby Air Riders could be releasing soon, a new Nintendo Switch 2 update, and also game keycards are taking over, and so much more. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so starting off with Kirby Air Riders, this game has actually been rated in Saudi Arabia. And if this leak is true, once it gets rated in Saudi Arabia, well, then the game is completed. So does this mean that we will be seeing a release date soon? I think it does. Now, not only are we getting a Kirby game, Kirby in the Forgotten Land Starcross World, but it could also mean that we could be seeing Kirby's Air Riders maybe in September instead of late December or November, or who knows. I think that it's very likely that we could be seeing this game in September. Okay, moving on to game keycards. So yesterday we got a Nintendo Direct, and although that Nintendo Direct didn't really show off anything, it turns out that pretty much every single game that's been revealed in that Direct are going to be game keycards. Now this kind of sucks for physical collectors because now you don't really own your game. You only got a little card that you pop in and boom. And if the servers go offline, well, your card just doesn't exist anymore. It's kind of funny though, but I see. We can't really necessarily blame the third-party developers. We can't necessarily blame Nintendo. It's all over the place. It's kind of a mucky situation. You have to pay a bit more for the physical cartridge, and then you're going to be going off your profit margins for the game. So pretty much it's just going to be like the main bigger AAA companies that are going to send out game cards instead of game key cards, but who knows? You never really know at this point. Okay, so it turns out that the Nintendo Switch 2 eShop has gotten an update. Now, just in case you were wondering what that's about, there's a little new button that, just in case it wasn't clear, you can click on it and it shows all the games. You can get Nintendo Switch 2 games, and that's it. That's all it shows. Nintendo Switch 2 games, because there's not really that many and they kind of wanted to source it out. So anyways, yeah. So if you have to update your Nintendo Switch, now you might have wanted to know what that was about. Well, it turns out that it was about bug fixes and also privacy fixes. Huh. Anyways, security changes, privacy changes, and a whole bunch of fixes for Nintendo Switch. We didn't really get anything else that really improves the eShop or anything else, but overall, really interesting. Okay, so the next thing that you might want to know is Mario Kart World. Now, Mario Kart World just recently got an update, and that is pretty great. So now you can finally go online and play a 3-lap track. Nintendo listened to us and gave us the 3-lap track. So you pretty much in every single game, you'll see a button off to the side. You click on the one off the side if you want the 3-lap track. But if you want just a standard, race to your next destination, well, then you can click on it. It's going to show an arrow, and there you go. That's pretty much what that's all about. Okay, so the Nintendo Switch 2 has sold over 6 million units, and that right there is really, really awesome because this is going to be a successful console. Now, not only that, but the Nintendo Switch could possibly pass the DS in sales number. As you can see here, the Nintendo DS is at 154.02 million units, and the Nintendo Switch is at 153.10 million units. Now that right there is really, really awesome because, hey, Nintendo consoles could be maybe possibly the highest grossing console ever. If you take a look at this right here, the PlayStation 2 is at 160 million units, but you can't really say that those numbers could be true because it seems like for some reason over the past couple of years the PlayStation 2 has been seemingly just going on up and up and up in units, even though you can't buy the console anymore. So I don't know what in the world is going on there, but for now, we can say it's 160 million units. which is kind of funny. Sony keeps raising the numbers of sold. Maybe they don't want to admit defeat by Nintendo. Who knows? Pretty interesting that the Switch 2 has sold 6 million units, and that's not even for the month of July. So I'm going to predict that it's going to be over like 8 million units. Also, Mario Kart World has sold over 5 million games. So that right there is really, really great because, hey, everyone's playing Mario Kart World, or at least they wanted to try it. This is the next entry in the Mario Kart series, so might as well try it. And we can't forget about some more sad news. So Nintendo has officially came out with the new prices for the Nintendo Switch, the Switch accessories, the amiibos, the games, the controllers, and etc. And also, it turns out that it's not only for Canadians. The United States is also going to be affected by these price changes. So the list right here is about the previous price is on the right side for some reason. The new price is on the left side. So you can see here that most accessories are just going to be up by $5-ish, but the Nintendo Switch OLED is going up by $50. The Switch Lite's about $50-ish, $20-ish dollars. Depending on where you live, the prices are of course going to be different. For some reason, Tears of the Kingdom is $10 more in Canada. I don't know, is this going to affect the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of the game too? So that's going to be over $120 for a game. It doesn't seem like Nintendo is going to be raising the prices of these Switch 2 games right now, but that's something that you gotta leave in your mind and question yourself. So Nintendo, are you going to be raising the prices of Switch 2 things next? Why just Switch 1? Because right now Switch 1 games are going up by $5. Now, that may not seem like a big deal, but at the end of the day, it still adds up. Let's just say that you get like 10 games. Of course, you could have got a free game for the price of the game that you paid for extra $5. So anyways, just keep that in there. You know, it kind of sucks that we're seeing price increases for things, but at least they did not touch the Nintendo Switch 2. I hate the fact that they're bringing up the price of the amiibos by $1. Anyways, what do you think about this? Do you think that price increases are justified for what in the world's going on in the world right now? Or do you think, well, it's a little scummy that they decide to raise the prices of the Nintendo Switch 1? A console that's been out for 8 years. The Nintendo Switch OLED, well, is a pretty good deal because if you want to play Nintendo Switch 1 games, that's probably the best place to play as long as there's no Switch 2 upgrade for that game. But yeah, anyways, what do you think about this? Do you think it's a good thing, a bad thing, you understand kind of thing? Anyways, what do you think about the rest of the news? Do you think that these are some good things, like Kirby Air Riders and stuff like that? Or do you think, well, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you consider hit the like button. Maybe subscribing if you're new. That'd be amazing. That'd mean the world to me. And anyways, thanks a lot. Hope you have a fantastic day and see you in the next one.